Just for fun, I'm going to give the skate a little bit of a spin so we can get some more dynamic movements. So the idea for today's video came to me in a few different places, starting with this shopping cart video I saw on YouTube Shorts. You can see all it is literally a shopping cart in a parking lot using a bunch of speed ramps and boomerangs going in and out really fast. Now you might say that this video is kind of chaotic and jarring, but I think it's chaotic and jarring in a good way. But my second piece of inspiration was this right here. This is one of my new hockey skates by a company called Bauer. I paid way too much money for these, so I thought that using them in a video would be a good way to justify the price. But of course, other than that, these things, I just can't stop looking at them. These are the sexiest pair of skates I have ever owned. Is that weird to say? Now, our last little bit of inspiration comes from my good friend Dennis Lippman, who shot this really unique New Balance spec ad a few years back. The incorporation of fishing wire to hang the shoes and all the dramatic lighting make for a very interesting look. So we're gonna take some inspo from that and apply it to our hockey skate video. Now all I did here was I took a piece of fishing line and I wrapped it through the skate eyelets and then hung it on this overhead rig here. Now the beauty of a sequence like this is that it is totally freestyle. It's literally only one setup. We're gonna use two Aperture MT Pro tubes. We can put the lighting around in different places for different shots. And then we're just gonna take our camera and get a bunch of different angles and stuff underneath the skate, over the skate, beside the skate, whatever comes to mind. It's totally freestyle in the true essence of the word. The style is free. Now, a cool thing about these Aperture lights is that they're actually magnetic, so I can just, boom, overhead lighting in a pinch. And they're so versatile that we could take the other one and put it underneath. And of course, we've got our PMI Smoke Genie, which we will use to create an added dramatic effect around the skate. And now this is the fun part. We take our camera, we set it to 120 frames per second, and we just go crazy. Just for fun, I'm gonna give the skate a little bit of a spin so we can get some more dynamic movements. Now, I've got an idea for what I'm gonna do for the very last shot of the video. Basically, I want this skate completely stationary, just floating there, a bunch of smoke around it as the camera pulls away dramatically. So what I'm gonna do is put our smoke all around. We're gonna use a lot for this shot. I'm gonna start nice and close, and I'm using autofocus here. And I'm gonna slowly pull back, keeping it as steady as I can. That actually looks really good. And note my feet, how I'm rocking back and forth, and I'm using mostly my feet to do the movement, not my arms or my hands. That's how you keep it steady. And other than that, there is just one more shot I want to get. Now this is actually the only shot where we're gonna take the skate down from our setup, and we're instead gonna place it directly on the table. Make sure we get this nice and well lit. And this is again 120 frames per second. And we're just gonna do a bunch of twisting movements, kind of going in and out of the skate boot until we get something that looks cool. All right, it is the next day. I've already edited together a sequence from that footage we shot, so let's walk through a bit of that process. Taking a look here at the raw footage, you can see the 8 shots that I've selected for our edit. There's definitely potential here, but if we left it as is, I don't think we'd be impressing anybody. The first thing I always like to do is a quick color grade on the footage to make it a bit easier on the eyes while we're editing. I know that normally you would want to color grade at the end as one of the last steps, but I find that editing on really dull and gray footage isn't as enjoyable as editing footage that looks a bit closer to what the final result is gonna be. Really, all I do is just add one of my LUTs to the footage to just give it a bit more color and contrast before I really dive in. Now from here, I can't really do much with our footage until I know what the pacing is going to be, and the thing that drives the pacing of any video is the music. Now, Artlist's music library has been poppin' as of late. In the music section, I'll browse by mood, and let's go with something serious and dramatic. Right off the bat, this song right here is very close to the vibe I'm looking for. It definitely has the correct instrumentation, if you will. So what I'm gonna do is I want something with a little more energy. So I'll click on the artist's name and see what else they have. And sure enough, this second song right here is exactly what I'm looking for. The next step is, of course, to bring that music into our timeline, and we can now start pacing our edit. Now, pacing the edit is all about massaging those clips together, trying to find the right mix, the right order, the right timing, just doing pass after pass until the overall flow looks smooth. Most of this footage was shot in 120 frames per second, meaning I can slow it down to 20% of its original speed. And something I like to do is speed up the beginning and ends of each clip. This is to help draw the emphasis to the part of the clip that actually matters. Maybe it's a decal or a logo on the skate, maybe it's some other fine detail. This is actually a good little hack for getting details sharp and in focus, especially when shooting handheld. What I like to do is set the lens to manual focus, and I just leave it at a fixed focal distance. And let's say I'm doing a push-in movement, you'll see that the logo slowly comes into focus, and then I'll keep pushing past it until it's out of focus. And then once you bring that into post, you can slow down the portion that is in focus to 20%, speeding up the rest, drawing all the emphasis to the part of the clip that looks good, and all of a sudden you have this ultra precise, almost robotic type of camera movement, which looks really cool. We'll of course add some motion blur in between clips to smooth out the transitions, and then after all of that massaging and finessing, we end up with something that looks like this. Not bad at all. I actually really like how the song pairs up with that dark and dramatic footage, but this right now as is feels very empty. It needs some life, it needs some... Now obviously we got our music from Artlist, but did you know that Artlist also has stock footage? And I should mention, it is good. Now I'm looking at the overall design and the decals on the skate here, and you can see all those little stripes and even the name Hyperlight, and it's giving speed, quickness. Think the Flash, lightning. That is what we're gonna lean into with this video. So in Artlist, we can of course search for lightning and it will give us some good options, but I want stock footage that will be easy to superimpose on our own footage. So something on a black background. So using Artlist's AI-powered search engine, we can be pretty specific. So I'll type in lightning strike on black background, and as you can see, it gives us a ton of options to pick from. Gone are the days where you need a bajillion different subscriptions to different websites for different things. Artlist has beautifully put all the assets you need in one place. Music, sound effects, stock footage, templates, plugins, all under one roof. And they've got plans for everybody, so if you just want music and sound effects, or you just want stock footage and templates, you can do that. Or if you're like me and you want everything all together, you can check out the Artlist Max bundles and save on all assets. And the best part is that if you click on the link in the description below, you will get 2 months free off of an annual Artlist subscription of your choice. So let's say we want to use this guy right here. That's a good looking lightning strike. We can click on it and we can download it in our desired quality. And literally the coolest thing ever, which absolutely blows my mind, are the AI-powered suggested sound effects right here on the same page as the stock footage. People, do you realize how much time this is going to save? Traditionally, I would, get my stock footage, put it in the edit, and then at the very end, I would go through the whole video shot by shot, painstakingly searching for sound effects that match well, and they already did it for me. Like I said, the link is in the description. Now, if we want to add this lightning to our shot, it's actually pretty straightforward. We'll put our lightning clip over top of our skate clip and then set the blend mode to add. We'll adjust the size and the position of the lightning to how we like it. And to make sure that we only have the lightning behind the skate, we will duplicate our skate layer and put it over top of everything. Grab the Luma Keyer effect from our effects tab and adjust it so that we are only seeing the lightning behind the skate. And lastly, we can just go in here and very simply change the hue of the lightning to the same greenish color that we have on the skate's accents. And voila, as expected, that gives this clip a whole lot more energy. I did pretty much this exact same method for the rest of the clips in the sequence using a combination of different lightning clips from Artlist, including this storm cloud one as well, which we turned into this. And I also keyframed some of that lightning stock footage really small to create this little animation for under the skate as well. As for the last clip of the video, I used 2 pieces of lightning stock footage, rotated each of them 90 degrees, put them opposite of each other and put that behind the skate to get this effect. And you might have noticed that pretty much every shot in this sequence is a close-up, so you don't really see the fishing wire in any of the shots, making it easier to edit, with the exception of the last shot where you can see the fishing wire. If you're interested in knowing how I did that in Final Cut, because Final Cut does not have a built-in wire removal tool, then I can do a future tutorial. Just let me know if that's something you'd like to see. And now finally, let's have a look and a listen to how much more full and energetic and just satisfying the overall sequence feels with the added stock footage and sound effects. First, with no music. All right, how much better is that? It's insane how much more energy the video has. And I do gotta say that the green lightning is the perfect touch that goes with the branding of the skates. But now let's watch the final video with the music. Don't forget, if you would like 2 months off of an Artlist annual subscription, then go to the link in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Click like, click subscribe, and follow me on Threads. It's kind of cool. I will see you in the next one.